Joey Badass came out this week and gave Columbia Records an ultimatum. He said, if you guys can't release this album, I might as well leak it. I'm ready and you're not. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad if he did it at all. It's just another label versus artist situation that we'll be able to hear in real time. And then I move on and I read about YouTube Music giving us their monthly audience stat, which means we'll have more talking heads on the timeline giving us fake stats to be able to back their horrible narratives. So this week, that's what I got. The Joey Badass situation and the YouTube monthly audience.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. This is episode 114 and we're live. Thank you for joining me for another great episode. So I'm on IG, scrolling, typical doom scrolling like normal. And I see Joey Badass, his live. He did a live earlier that day. And it is your typical artist versus label. So the video, it describes what's been going on. He had a date. He had an August 1st date for his newest album, It's Lonely at the Top. That was this past Friday. And it never came to fruition because Columbia decided to push it back. Here's a clip from that live.
So I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid off for y'all, man. Listen, man, bad news. Got some terrible news. The album is not dropping on Friday. The album is not dropping August 1st, Friday. Yup, I said it. I'm fucking sorry. I am ashamed. I'm fucking disappointed, you know what I'm saying? But it's really frustrating and disappointing to me that, like, when I'm finally on that trajectory, the shit still don't go in my favor. And it's like, this time it's not my fault. And it's like, listen, man, like, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes in this music industry that us artists don't never expose to y'all fans. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's just us standing on the stage. Y'all don't see Tom, Dick, and Harry behind the scenes. Like, y'all, who gives a fuck about them niggas? You know what I'm saying? Like, all y'all care about is Joey. At the end of the day, shit go bad, it's on Joey. And that's why it's fucking lonely at the top, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, listen, man, my shit got pushed back because the label pushed my shit back. My album is signed, sealed, and delivered over a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't because of no sample clearances. This ain't because no features. This ain't because of no clashing with another artist on the date. Like, this is literally an exhibit A of the label getting in the artist's way.
So from that clip, basically, he says, look, album's done. You guys don't have to worry about anything. It's done. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. You guys just won't let me drop it, which is something that we've heard from artists for a very long time, especially here in the 2020s. Most recently, Meg Thee Stallion was one of those artists who got on Instagram Live to let people know, hey, the label is really not letting me drop music, which to me is crazy because it sounds like the label don't want to make money. So when I hear this, the first thing I say is, I'm on Joey Badass side. I'm taking his side no matter what. Think about it like this. Joey Badass has been consistent throughout 2025. He started the year off with The Ruler's Back, which he completely dropped straight on YouTube. He actually went through a whole Joey Badass versus the West Coast beef, and everything he was dropping was on YouTube. He has been moving like an independent artist already. The label didn't back any of these things. From what I understand, he shot all of these videos on his own. He spent his own money to do all of this stuff. So why is Columbia not taking advantage of the momentum he's brought upon himself? Joey Badass sat up here and did everything he had to do to gain momentum so he can build up to get to this album that a lot of us has been waiting on. I'm one of those people. I want to hear what he has to say on this newest album. I've been a Joey fan for a very long time, but I want to hear what he has to have to say on this album. I think he's one of the better rappers out here right now. Why would Columbia mess around and try to delay it even longer? When you think about it, we've been getting nothing but heat in July. We had the Clips album, we had Larry June drop, we had Freddie Gibbs dropped. We had a lot of great albums that dropped in July, which shows me the second half of 2025 is going to be busy. So why would Columbia take away a date which I think was perfect for him? The only two albums that dropped on August the 1st was Yeet and Metro Boomin. And right now, both of those albums are sounding like they're getting, mid reviews. This is another case of the label getting in the artist's way. And it's to the point now where it's getting out of hand. What is the temp check all about? If you guys didn't help this man get to this point, why are you taking away his ability to drop an album that he built his own momentum from, if that makes sense to you? If you ask me, you're going to get him swept up in all of the major albums that's coming out. We're supposed to be getting a J. Cole album. A Jid album is coming out. A Drake album is coming out. There's heavy hitters that's coming out there. And I'm not taking away from Joey Badass's star power. I'm just saying he ain't Drake. He ain't J. Cole. He on Jid level. I will put him on Jid level. But, taking his ability to be able to pinpoint when it's a great time for him to drop is you're handicapping this guy. And I think he's trying to make his name. Like Joey Badass has been out for a while. He's kind of an OG. He's a young OG. He's been in the game for a minute, but he got in really, really young. And I think with him he's been a part of your roster since 2022, I think you should be able to trust his judgment, especially with everything he's gone through and you guys hadn't even been able to fund it.
If these motherfuckers don't straighten up, these motherfuckers got till Monday to straighten up. I'm giving them till Monday. That's me being generous. Columbia Records, y'all got till Monday to straighten up. And if y'all don't straighten up, wallahi, I'm dropping this whole project on YouTube and I don't give a fuck. And that's just what it's gonna be, bro, because this shit is done, bro. I made this shit for y'all, man. Like, this is what I want to give to y'all. Fuck it, it's the album before the album. This is what I want to do.
Let's say he does leak it on YouTube. What could happen? I mean, that might be one of the smartest moves he could put together. When you think about it like this, look at the numbers. When the Rule Is Back dropped in January up until now, at this point in time, it has 2.8 million views on YouTube as we speak. Then you think about the diss tracks that he's dropped, Crash Dummies and My Town. Both are way over 1 million, no problem. He didn't have any promo. He didn't have the label backing him. He didn't have a lot of the stuff that people think that they need from labels. None of that. And he's clearing a shit ton of views without having that push or that label button that people are always talking about. Think about it like this as well. When we was having a whole Drake and Kendrick back and forth, all of their music dropped on freaking YouTube first. They dropped on YouTube, they dropped on Instagram, and they didn't miss a beat. They didn't need major labels to get in the middle of it. But when we look at it today, dropping it on YouTube kind of feels like the norm now. It kind of feels like that's the way to go because, one, you don't have to worry about these major labels interfering in any of your motion that you're getting. And it also feels like that alone, it seems like that's the new platform that everybody's trying to go to when it comes to listening to music. Not me personally, but maybe to some of the younger generation. So at the end of the day, maybe the YouTube league should be the move. Maybe more artists should take it upon themselves to be dropping their albums on YouTube, and that way they can get the respect they deserve. And maybe it's another form of gaining leverage. But it all really goes back to, what does your contract look like? Because if this fucks him over in his contract, it might be one of his biggest mistakes. Joey's basically saying, if y'all not gonna support me, I'll do it myself. And I think more artists should have more of that mentality so we can have more artists doing more things independently. This whole thing is a bigger conversation about being independent versus being signed to a major. And I know a lot of people look at signing to a major as a thing that they should do, but I'm telling you right now, when you're signed to a major, this is the type of shit you have to go through to be able to get your art to everybody out there that you want to get it out to. I'm not mad at Joey at all. When you use things like YouTube or you use direct-to-consumer websites or those types of situations, at the end of the day, you can't do nothing but win, bruh. Stop worrying about the playlist. Stop worrying about being on DSPs, man. If you can figure it out as an independent artist, you can get it done, no problem. I want to see if Columbia is going to really answer the call and reply to an artist who's clearly upset. Joey Badass is really pissed off about this, and I'm not mad at him at all. And if they don't answer him by Monday, I really want to see if he got the balls enough to even drop this album on YouTube. It couldn't do anything but help his cause. It couldn't do anything but help leverage, especially if it does numbers. And I think after the year that he's had so far, that album is going to do numbers. If he's going to put out the type of work that he was putting out when he was beefing with the West Coast, he's going to put out some major numbers. So I want to see how this is going to happen. I want to see what's going to go forward. I'm probably going to come back to this story later on this year. But tell me what you think. Do you think Joey should go ahead and leak his album and show Columbia that he can really do numbers without him? Or should he just wait and go off of what Columbia wants them to do? It's a conversation to be had, and it's in the comments.
Is rolling out a new feature called Monthly Audience. This metric shows your total number of unique listeners and viewers across all formats in the last 28 days. It includes views from official videos, collaborations, fan uploads, and even content from YouTube Kids. This means you get a comprehensive view of your reach across the entire YouTube ecosystem. How does this benefit you? With a clearer picture of your audience, you can tailor your content strategy to what resonates most, identify collaboration opportunities, and engage more effectively with your fan base.
What if I told you that Doechii and Coolio are way more popular than Drake when it came to streaming? Would you believe me? Of course not, because you think that would be a crazy man talking. What if I told you on YouTube they were out streaming Drake? Still wouldn't believe me. I don't believe it either. This week, YouTube is stupid. This week, YouTube just dropped their monthly audience stat, and it is probably one of the most confusing things I've ever seen in my life. I seen a list earlier this week on Twitter, and I was seeing the streaming numbers, and I thought this was like something that was out of like a comic book. No, they actually have streaming numbers showing Doechii and Coolio being above Drake. Now, they do have criteria, and I'm about to read the criteria for you. It is official videos. I'm taking this from my notes. It is official videos, shorts, fan uploads, and anything that uses artist music on YouTube. Now, this is updated daily, and it only shows up for artists who have an official artist channel and a lot of traffic. This, to me, is one of those things that is here to justify those really shitty hip-hop Twitter pages, like their opinions. That's how I look at it. People who do hip-hop media and they can't really go off of their own merit or their own opinion use numbers to justify bullshit. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. That's why I try not to really focus on numbers that much when it comes to talking to you guys about just hip-hop topics in general or albums, because I've always believed that quantity does not equal quality. You have to sit and listen to an album to get a lot more out of it than just looking at first week numbers. And a lot of your favorite talking heads will use those first week numbers and justify the bullshit. With YouTube starting to give this monthly audience thing a chance, it's really giving talking heads more opportunity to justify their bullshit stan culture and just sound like complete and total idiots. Doechii is a great artist. Don't get me wrong. I love Doechii to death. But when you have a list like this that shows her being number one over Kendrick, Travis Scott, J. Cole, Drake, what are we doing? Coolio passed God Rest His Soul in 2022. Seeing Coolio outrank somebody on a list when it comes to streaming is crazy to me. Seeing this list and seeing the DSP roll out something like this just goes into a deeper conversation about how we use numbers and metrics to justify shitty albums. I think a lot of times these hip-hop talking heads and a lot of your favorite hip-hop pages on social media use numbers to try to pull you in to think that this artist is way better than these other artists when that's not necessarily true. With these pages on social media trying to show us first week numbers, it's just a ruse to actually get us out of actually listening to albums. It's a lot of you guys who don't listen to maybe 3 songs and already give your critique, and then you try to justify by going to monthly listeners on Spotify and saying, well, see, don't you think this means this? Or, wow, the numbers have dropped. And I don't blame y'all. I blame people like academics, people on that level who feed you this bullshit and you guys eat it up all the time. When at the end of the day, quality music doesn't have to sell well. It just has to be quality music. It has to be well crafted. It has to come out with love and care. And we have to be willing to listen to it as a whole and not just on playlist. That's my biggest gripe about this kind of stuff. I brought this to the show because I know that there are going to be several hip hop media outlets that's going to use these particular numbers to justify how much bullshit they can get away with. And that's not fair to you on the other side of the screen. And it's not fair to me when it comes to my side of being able to be hip hop media. So at the end of the day, I just feel like YouTube Music has made one of the biggest mistakes in the world by giving us this monthly audience instead of giving us better features, giving us better quality sound, paying the artists more. Have you thought about those things instead of giving us monthly audiences and trying to embarrass some of the more independent artists that come out here and try to make a living? See, that's where we don't get into the conversation at all. How these things that they add on to these streaming services don't help the working class hip hop artist, if that's such a thing. You know what I mean. Independent artists who don't have a lot of money to be able to get you guys the product that they need to get out to you. These numbers don't do anything at all, man. They don't mean shit. It's not a day that don't go by that we don't talk about bots. Thank you, academics. Thank you, Joe Budden. We don't even believe the numbers that we see these days. So why is this such an issue to put this thing out here and be pressed to go up against Spotify's monthly listener count? It's just another bullshit metric that we just never asked for. So I just wanted to bring this to the show to tell you, don't be fooled by people giving you these new bells and whistles when they don't mean anything. And don't be fooled by people using these numbers on social media to justify how much of a stand they are for a specific artist. Use your ears, use your mind, listen to music for a change. Stop being a robot and seeing shit on social media and going with that, because it ain't helping nothing at all. You're just being a part of helping somebody get over on you and making a bag and laughing all the way to the bank. With that being said, that's all I got for this week, man. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. I will be back on Wednesday with some album reviews, and I think I'm going to actually spotlight some independent artists. Who knows? But if you're liking this content, please, guys, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, get notifications, and make sure you guys are getting in the comments. There's always a conversation down there. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll catch you next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.